About the BlackBerry.
Dude, the BlackBerry, what's that?
I don't have a BlackBerry.
Well, whatever it is.
You got one of these. Okay, there you go. It's a sidekick.
Now, are they paying you?
No.
Well, don't mention them. What are you doing?
I don't care. Right?
Give them a call. You love that thing, though. I've noticed that. You are amazing because I emailed you last night. I swear to God, it was like midnight. You took like a minute to get back because I know you're on it all the time.
He can text faster than I can type. No doubt about it. I mean, he's all over that thing.
And someone visited my house the other day, and they're like, you got to stop.
Seriously.
You got to stop. Just put it away, please. Put it away.
I got to tell you, aside from the fact that you're the UFC light heavyweight champ, you're probably bedding hot chicks all the time. You could kick the crap out of anyone walking around here. You're kind of geeky at times. I mean, I like it. You're we always say it. You're just incredibly down to earth.
I'm a dork, so it's okay.
A dork with a good punch.
Yeah.
I've always said that about Chuck. From coming out of California, he's pretty easygoing.
Yeah.
I'd take you as a Midwest boy, Chuck.
I say, well, my grandparents are from New York, so I was raised by my grandparents pretty much. So
that's Chuck Liddell, the light heavyweight champ. The welterweight champ is here with us as well, and that is Matt Hughes. Well, first of all, let's go back to the BJ Penn fight. Right after, I start reading rumors up on the net, and I was at the fight, and my impression was BJ was doing a hell of a job for the first 2 rounds, and he ran out of gas, just like he did against George St. Pierre. He wasn't in shape, or maybe he's just not capable of getting in shape where he can go 3, 4, and 5 rounds. But then I'm reading rumors that, it was a rib injury.
I don't know and don't really care, to be honest. He can come up with whatever he wants, or maybe it's actually the truth. I heard that he had a rib injury that occurred in the second round, and then I heard from somebody that the doctor said you don't have a rib injury.
So I heard too.
So I and who knows? I mean, the whole doctor saying there was no rib injury could be all just a rumor in itself there. But I don't care what BJ Penn says or does or this and that. And I like BJ Penn, and it's whatever. He was a stepping stone. I'm done with him, and he can go do whatever he wants now. I mean, he can fight in his parents' show, or he can come back to the UFC or whatever.
Now, you mentioned to us last time you were on with us that you thought George made a mistake by pulling out of the fight, that now he's at a disadvantage.
Well, I see it as he could be at a disadvantage because before I beat BJ, George had a mental advantage in that he beat a common opponent. He beat BJ, and I lost to BJ. Now he doesn't have that. Now he looks at that, and he's saying, well, Matt finished BJ within 3 rounds. I couldn't finish BJ, and Matt beat me. So, I mean, it's mentally he's got more on his mind now.
Well, I mean, he's a guy, though, that injury, a groin, hamstring, that type of thing, that could be a lingering thing. That affects training, and when we talked to him, we were in an appearance, he was really hurt. I mean, it was a legitimate injury.
Your groin injury is going to actually affect your training. I tell you what, when that cage, and I think Chuck will say the same thing, when that cage door shuts, there's not much as far as injuries that's going to keep me from performing. But it's the fact that I've got to get in good shape coming into that fight. So if he's got a lingering groin injury, it's going to keep him maybe from running as much as he used to, or sparring, or throwing kicks.
Exactly. That's totally that's the problem. If you get hurt early, I mean, if I get hurt right before my last day of training, I mean, really, it's not going to bother me much when I go in. It's when you get hurt 6 weeks out, and now you got to train, beat up. You got to train, and you're not training as hard as you can. You're not doing it like you said. You're not doing
same page. We're always on the same page, aren't we, Chuck? Yeah.
Now, I watched a reality show last night, and you were the reaction you got from Sarah was because you were busting the chops of George St. Pierre, and the way the pictures they got of George, he didn't have a lot to say back. He's a very nice guy. I don't think he has a nasty edge to him. But at one point they kind of had a camera shot of him. He looked like he wanted to cry. Now off of that though, now let's take it to the next step. You win the fight against BJ Penn. What do you think about George coming in the ring and then saying, you know what, I wasn't impressed. Let's go.
Well, that's his opinion.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
You cracked me up because that's what you said that night. You're right after you're at this real high. The guy comes in, tries to take you down. You're like, whatever.
Because you're secure in what you are. Maybe the guy's trying to fire himself up. You're going against an opponent. You're looking for stuff to fire you up.
And maybe he is. George has got that 8-year-old mentality. I kind of yelled at him in the ring afterwards. I put my arm around his shoulder. I brought him in kind of tight so the cameras and nobody could hear. And I said, hey, I've never been the type of guy to walk into a ring where somebody else has performed and try and steal the show, steal the limelight. I go, you just showed me who you were. I walked away.
Tito Ortiz walks in the ring and makes some comments and goes, you may want to lose the belly.
That's about as good. I tell everyone, what am I going to say? That's about as good a shape as I get in. Yeah. That's it. The best my body's going to look. Sorry if you don't like it. whatever.
That's just the way whoever put Chuck together. That's just the way he put him together. And Tito is just always looking for some stupid antic, whether it's Last of the Mohicans, Lose the Belly, the Grave Digger. I mean,
See,
if
that's
I can
another thing. You guys
tell
are
me
on
if
the
I
same
can't say
page.
this. Can I say idiot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it
Tito's
many
an
times.
idiot. Tito's an idiot.
Yep, you said it about him before.
Generally, yes.
Yeah, you guys are on the same page on that. You have a common
definitely
opinion
a
of
common
Tito
opinion.
Ortiz.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
another common opinion.
You know, I watched that reality show, and he doesn't look like an idiot, man. He's a great guy, and he's the best trainer in the sport.
He was.
He's good.
Just ask him, he'll tell you.
He's good. He's good at fooling people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very well
did-
scripted.
On that, yeah, he did a good job.
He did his homework on what to say, what not to say, what to do, what not to do.
Yeah.
When are the cameras on me?
That's
we
Chuck
had-
Liddell. Matt Hughes is here.
We had Sylvia on earlier, and he's like you guys. He's convinced he will never step in the ring with Chuck Liddell.
I'll be shocked if he actually walks in the ring. When he actually walks in the ring, I'll be shocked.
Yeah.
He wants to run his mouth. He wants to talk about it, and then he's gonna. I'm not surprised that he's gonna. I told Dana when I took the fight, you better have a backup because I'm not training for 3 months and not fighting somebody.
So this is a serious concern. I mean,
That's a
as
serious
Pig
concern, yeah.
mentioned, yeah, and then you're sitting down, and hey, this guy may bail on this one.
I
There's two
don't see why he'd want to do it.
Yeah, there's
I
two
mean,
types
he
of
can't
people
beat
in the
me,
world.
and he's afraid of me.
Two types of people in this world, and I learned this long ago. There's talkers and doers. And Tito's a talker. He really is.
Yeah, but he just beat Shamrock. You know,
Oh, yeah,
those were
for the third time.
Those are big victories. No,
Look, come on, man. Don't make me be mean. I like Shamrock. He's a nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
But he, the thing is
Past his prime.
He's past his prime, and I mean, he stuck around to get some paychecks, which is fine with me because he wasn't getting paid when he was one of the best guys.
be objective. Is there a way? What does Tito need to do? Does he have the skills to find a way to beat Chuck?
For anybody to beat Chuck, they've got to take him down. Chuck's got the two major things in his favor. He's got a jaw that's not going to fold, and he's got two hands that are going to throw a knockout punch. You put those two together with a great takedown defense, and that's going to cause anybody problems.
So Tito has no shot.
Tito's going to go back to wrestling 101. Tito's
You know what? We always talk about this, and Tim said it earlier. You know, Randy beat Chuck, and Randy is a world championship level wrestler. How good a wrestler? I mean, you're a high level wrestler. How good is Tito?
Okay, let's put it this way. I did this for when they interviewed me for Randy and Tito. Someone was talking about Tito's wrestling against Randy, and I'm like, what? They're giving him I'm like, look, Tito was a
Junior
JC
college.
state champ. Then he shared time for a year at Bakersfield, which is the rival school of the college I wrestled at for 5 years.
Right.
Okay. He lost a guy. He lost a guy from our school who I used to punk, in the room. So I mean, styles wise, he's the kind of wrestler. His style of wrestling is a style I like. I'm a better wrestler than he is. I mean, and that's not. I mean, and I'm nowhere near where Randy was as a wrestler. Right?
Yeah, but technique-wise, it's not just Tito Ortiz. I mean, you rolled through Randy Couture. Certainly, you have respect for him, and now guys in the last several fights cannot figure your technique out.
Wrestling doesn't. I mean, wrestling's a huge aspect, but when you put these two in with it,
They haven't
it
got
changes,
to the wrestling and how many fights against
it
him.
changes it all. It changes it up.
It gives me that extra distance. It's like when I fought Randleman. I mean, if I wrestled at the same time, the same weight in college, he was two-time national champ. I probably would have taken me down at will if we were just straight wrestling. But you give me another 8, 12 inches because he can't get close enough. I'll hit him if he gets close enough. He takes that shot from another 12 inches out. And that extra space gives me enough time to stop the shot.
Very less effective.
They got to get close. The thing is, they have to get close enough to you to shoot. I mean, you can't shoot from across. If he takes those shots he took on Forrest from across the ring, there's no. I mean,
what I tell high school kids when I'm coaching high school or putting a seminar on, if I'm going to shoot against Chuck Liddell, I've got to physically be able to reach out and touch Chuck Liddell. If I can reach out and touch Chuck Liddell, I can effectively take him down. If I can touch Chuck Liddell, what's he going to do to me?
I can hit him. See, if you get in a range, you need to be that close. So you have to be able to mix it. And I think that the hard thing for Tito in mixing it, I mean, I think that Randy did well mixing his takedowns and stuff was the fact that he wasn't afraid to get hit,
exactly.
and he would cut. He wasn't afraid to exchange a little bit to get in close and take a shot. Tito's scared to get hit.
Yep.
I mean, so that makes it even worse when you're trying to shoot in.
Tito knows with his jaw that it's just going to take one, and he could be folded.
We're one shot. I'm one shot away from finishing that fight anytime.
So if he does step into the ring, what's at stake? Obviously, money. I was making the suggestion while you were standing over there to Matt that why don't we put Jenna Jameson up for grabs? Or is that something you don't want?
You know, he can keep her.
You are a smelly pirate.
Why would you want something like that when you've got better already?
Yeah, I agree.
There you go.
Actually, who do you have now? You told me last time you're not with Willa.
I'm not with Willa.
What's
no.
going on here? Now you're just playing the
She's-
field?
I'm playing the field, having fun.
All right, guys, good spot. We appreciate you sitting around for so long. The two biggest names in the sport, Matt Hughes, the lightweight
You know
champ.
what? For Chuck, for us sitting around doing this interview, I mean, they ought to pay us. That was a pretty good interview you just did.
We'll just take their spots.
Lunch.
I'll tell you what, we'll pay you for the interview. You guys pay all the FCC fights. You know?
You know that, right?
Give me my fine.
We actually can be fined. What is it? Is it
$450,000 for every F word.
every
Really?
curse? Yeah, absolutely.
They get in trouble for that?
Well, you piled up probably $2.8 million, at least.
That sucks for you guys.
No, they can get you. They can get you.
They can get you.
That's how
Did you know
crazy.
that?
That's how crazy the
The
SEC
government
is now.
can come after you for FCC fights.
You'll be
I'd
all
like
right.
to see that. I'd like
Well,
to see.
I'll tell you what, Tito. Don't let it happen again.
That's UFC
I wasn't
72.
here.
Chuck versus the IRS.
I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't here.
It was Tito.